my desk is a little full with a project. I would very much like to get some things sorted out. I did post. That is a link in the chat. Just a convenient location for the thing, not sponsored by that website or anything like that. Just that's happened to be where I chose to gather the links, you know, because old habits die hard. That, of course, is not where I bought things or possibly the cost of things. Keep that in mind. Due to the case size and the cooler, I'm going, quote, balls deep and just putting the whole computer into the machine. We're going to do it that way. Because having the cooler and stuff is just, it'll be unwieldy to test outside, like on a box, test bench. Let's see. Let's look at the case. Give you a good once over here. I really wanted something. I wanted something with the stuff at the bottom here, you know, that's really was nice. No. I very much wanted a very smaller build. And I think this is what I was able to capture. Capture. It's a Pokemon. I did do a slight test fit with the motherboard just to make sure that it fit in there. I kind of did a test fit with the graphics card to make sure that it kind of fit in there. And like, that's how I know my spacing for the fans. Even though I spared there was more spacing here than what I thought there was, but okay. I did notice during that testing, these are the standoffs. I do need to put some more in here. Turn the exposure up, it's pretty dark. It's all on auto. Hold on. Nope, that's up all the way. Maybe turn that like that. Does that help? Make it cooler? Your screen is at all zeros? It's because I've been hanging out over there too much, you know? Use your error, my bad. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. No problem. That's not from experience. The heaviest part is this thing here. So I'm going to kind of like do this, but like kind of like. I do need to look into, maybe do I need to remove any of the hardware for the AI cooler? Remove the AMD mounting bracket and keep the original back plates on the rear of the motherboard. Okay, so I will need to remove that. Okay, down here. Yeah, we'll need to install like these sleeves and stuff. I think, will I be able to do that with it in the case already? Kind of confuses why it said to remove the whole CPU hold down. Okay, so you see the cooler that I put in, right? This guy? And then usually if a cooler comes in, it has its own design brackets hug the motherboard in a more secure and stable way for how it's going to sit on that structure versus how the stock cooler setup wants to go. On the motherboard, the black plastic feet are separate from the CPU hold down. Yeah, because it's like one thing here and another foot here. We will discover these nuances together in today's stream. Thank you for joining me on today's ride. This case I enjoyed quite so far, and I've not even like installed anything into it. This D&E, screws and washers. I have no idea what's going on. That's why we're opening the manual. D is hard drive screws, E is the little silicone to hold them in. Let's see, screws A. Motherboard PSU screws, motherboard cable management cover, hard drive, SFX bracket screws. So you're saying that is all the same screw. Good to know. B and C. B is the solid state screws for like the 2.5s. Okay, so let's keep those two together. It must be this one here. Spare parts. There's the standoffs. I'm in no way competent enough to build a PC from scratch. Putting black components in a black box with black screws and black cables seems like extra hard mode. Oh, yeah. Okay. I see your point. Full disclosure, I technically went to college and studied for this at some point in time. No RGB. No RGB. There is RGB options. Yeah. So there are addressable ports that I can use, and I'm thinking about maybe using like RGB strips to like be like, there we go. Now I can turn it on if I want to be like cool about it. They give you a standoff tool. They do. Fuck yeah. Okay, this little guy here. Screw head. This little guy here is my standoff, which is just like a little hexagonal bolt that is screwed into the frame. That fits in there, and then I can use a screwdriver. This thing, literally, all of the weight is in my hand here. It's all of this huge heat sink, right? This standoff here is not aligned with this standoff here. They're not perfectly like these two here. I'm missing that one. This is the one that's aligned. We need the one that's offset. Put it in there. Back it off. There we go. Doing the quick check on all of the existing ones, making sure that they're nice and tight. I'm sure that will be perfectly fine, right? As it gets stuck to the case instead. Shh. All right, let me sit down. Load is break time. Let me get one screw in, and I'll take a break. You know what would help? Getting rid of this piece. An hour and 2 minutes, got one screw in. Mainly I want to put screws in around this, right? To like secure this. So then that way I can move it around. Hey, I can see that one. Oh, I might need a... Oh, okay. I see something, chat. I have to remove that previous screw. Yeah, the motherboard is not lined up with this. So that's what I was getting at. There's a built-in shield here, and it needs to go around this thing. So like I kind of have to like wiggle this side in first, and then down and in. And then it's kind of sitting all nice and flush on this side here. I can feel it nice in here. I might just be having streamer skill issue. I might need to just set this screw without you guys watching, you know. Hold on, chat. I'm going to put the screw in off stream. So this feature here, right? I like this feature. This is so that you can get your graphics card in there without having to go around that. And this is kind of tight. There we go. So now, if you see this, it gives us access to all of our like top of our PCI slot brackets and stuff like that, and it gives a nice clear thing, right? I think I want to do these two, and I think that will secure that, so that I can like maybe think about how I'm going to do the next build part of the build, and then if I need to remove those 4 screws, it won't be the worst, right? Next, I would like to move this to the side and let's unbox the cooler. Take a look at that. Assess our situation. See how well it will fit here. I think and I still haven't really decided, like, should the fans be on the inside of the cooler with the cooler against the frame here? Typically, you want fans blowing through the radiator fence. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Especially these are static pressure fans, right? So they're optimized for radiator flow. So we want them pushing through. And I believe since this is the top, I want it blowing this way. And there's minimal filtering here. So it does look like it wants us to remove the full thing. stock AMD mounting bracket and keep the back plate. Okay. From the front of the motherboard, install the 4 AMD sleeves. Make sure you use the right side of the sleeve according to your socket. Place the sleeve with the name of the socket facing up. From the front of the motherboard, install the 4 AMD standoffs. And then we got to change the retention bracket. It's probably this guy here. We can do that first here. This is held on by like those little teeth, you know? Yeah. Reading through the manual, it wants it to be mounted on the motherboard. It wants the tubes on the bottom here. We're going to remove these black things. Trying to be so extra careful that I'm not like doing like something stupid. Claim a warranty. No, I didn't do that. Dude, we were watching. You were watching? Don't do stuff stupid whenever you have video recording. I am curious, though. They are having me put these on. Oh, probably that way. We'll look that up. So, little 4 protect and standoffs here. Let's pop those on top. It helps, you know. With that in there, we'll be sitting like this. So that tells me that the little legs crotch here of the bracket needs to be at the bottom of the pipes, like, because that's how they want it. Orient the pump's tube to fit your build. We recommend installing the tube's exit at 6 o'clock position. So we'll see if 6 o'clock will work. If not, we'll probably try off to the side like that. I probably want the tubes on the right, maybe. The tubes, it wants to wrap around like this. What does it look like? And it still wants me to kind of wrap that around. These are the small nuances that I could not plan without having like everything out. And yeah, I do like this way. I'm going to need to consider about plugging things in. My power cables here are probably going to be obstructed by that, as well as these fan connectors here. So that might be something I need to take into consideration, and we'll look at that during the dry fit. Let's get that cleaned off. Okay. I need to plug in all my fans and stuff. These connectors here and these will not be accessible after I install those. Shit, sorry. Plugging in these down here. I coughed and forgot. I think I can screw in the rest of the motherboard too. Since I think the dry fit's going well, I think we're going to be able to install everything here just fine without taking everything out. That is secure motherboard. Let's get the RAM in there, but I need to figure out which slots are first. Which slots are first? I think it's the 2 gray ones. First. What did I just randomly click on? Sorry. It's your wrist. Picture of a butt. What? Is that Edward James Olmos? Oh, that's what I clicked on? Oh, yeah, that probably was Edward James Olmos then. Bruh. Flipping the lever. Oh, don't have too much fun with that lever. Let's get this out of here. All right. And then there's a little things here. I'll have to clean that. Does it actually just like pop out if you I'm sure somebody's all like, oh, this pops out. But if you look, these little things here, I'm pretty sure that's what allows it to pop out and stuff. It's held in by these clips here. That's some good progress, though. There's thinking I should maybe sneak that M2 drive in there too. That's not the hole. That's not the hole. Wrong hole. Wrong hole. Kindly point out the correct hole. Would you, chatter? This one. Because I do have 2 more under here, but this drive is like the PCI 4.0. That one's not working. Let's try this one. That's the right one. GPU next. Before the GPU, I need to make sure everything is plugged in too. GPU in the M.2 slot? Yeah. You put your GPU in the by 16 slot. I put it in the M.2 slot. We are not the same. Don't put it in the wrong hole. I only got the one. And then whenever the GPU is installed, this slot here, which I could have used, I do have something that I could plug into that, will not be used. Unless I get like something that can plug into it all nice and flat and route it off somewhere else, which would be cool. Trust us, we've been through some computers. Oh, yeah. Holy shit. Chat, Discord. Check out the Discord general chat. A local college was needing to get rid of a bunch of desktop computers that they no longer use anymore, but they would need to like pay a recycler to get rid of them. And I'm all like, I got a car. I take that shit for free. Send you one. Those are Omnitech computers from probably like, 2002? They had been torn apart and thoroughly sectioned off into their various pieces and then sent to a local recycler, which paid us for them. And that's how you do it. College. The thermal paste I'm using, I need to squirt out the tip before using it because it's been sitting there for several years. I don't know when the last time I have used it. So I'm going to remove that just make sure it's not like the dry tip. I am following the instructions of this thermal paste. Specifically for this size of processor, it is suggesting, because it has its own excellent spreading properties, to just do the center dot in the middle. The middle. So we're going to do the center dot in the middle. I feel like that will be sufficient. Just setting these on the post to get them out of the way and not dangle them all over the place. Fan cable needs to go in through this one here. Yeah, I think just the case is going to be a little weird. It doesn't agree too well. It's compatible. The link there does say certain things are not necessarily compatible with each other. And it's the case that it's bitching about. And I'm like, nah, I checked everything thoroughly, multiple times over. I am confident that I can get this all to work together. I was going to say if it's an expansive build, but when you figure out 1 plus is the GPU, then okay, list is for parts only, as they may have been obtained elsewhere at different cost. I got that GPU in November for roughly $800. And I have been using that 4070 since then, except for right now. I can't use it right now. Because it's in this box temporarily. GPU stole from an old lady leaving Best Buy. Hey. I don't have a quip for that. I'm sorry. $800 is not bad. The market is going up as more issues with the 5000 series coming out and people are switching. Yeah. Can't see with my hand in the way. Place the pump with the retention bracket onto the GPU. CPU. Insert the standoffs, go through the holes on the bracket, and apply the thumb nuts. In the order as shown. Thumb nuts. Some big thumb nuts. Once you know what parts to get and where to find the deals, you're good to go. Yeah, yeah. Well, of course. I guess there is a little bit of nuance and skill into that at some point too, right? You know. Oop. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, I need to change that standoff because I just over tightened it. Rookie mistake. Yeah. I wonder if I didn't like reverse that one first before going in. I mean, is 3 really that bad? The 2 in there diagonal? Explain the situation and they'll send a new one. All right. Be like, hey, I'm sorry. I was dumb. I will be more careful next time. We'll go through that. And, oh, it's a common thing. Should I only do thumb? Maybe just thumb tight? Just gorilla grip tight? And then maybe a quarter turn with this? Like, there we go. Bro not wearing a static band? No. No. Overrated. There you go. Wilding out here. My reasoning for that is I'm not directly touching any of the pins when possible, being safe with that. I'm often touching the case to be at the same electrical potential with the case itself. And I'm like mainly only working with the main heat sinks. As long as you're not like touching like the ICs and stuff like that, you should be fine. Haven't needed those in years. PC parts are way better than nowadays. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing too, is like everything has some type of resistor or like surge protection built in of some sort, you know? You shock stuff all the time, constantly need to ground yourself. Do you live in a area that's just prone to static shock all the time? I'm in the Midwest. It's pretty moist. It's pretty humid today. Don't drag your butt on the carpet while building a PC. You still do the arm lean on the case though, just have it. Yeah. Was in another PC building stream one time and the cat just jumped into the PC. Meow. No, kitty. Meow. I got this secured. What CPU? I went with the 7800 because it's got like that one CCD and it's like the cache is all on that one specific type of built-in core unit. I'm bad with terminology. The 9800 version, that is all, there's 2 of them. And in that case, it has to like go through the fabric or whatever. You have the 9800, but the 7800 is also a beast. Yeah, no, and I'm not saying the other one doesn't have its functions and serves its own purposes. And, you know, both of them are great. Dual CCD isn't bad by itself, but the X3D versions of those are where the concern is. Yeah, so the X3D cache is only on one of those 2 dies, and that's the concern. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. The price? $340 is about what I got that CPU for. It was on sale. I got a bundle sale. Towards the end, I think I will do a final price reveal. You got to hang out until the end, see the final price. Did I do a break? Fuck no, I didn't do a break. Chat, the manager has informed me that I have not taken a break thus far, so I shall be sent to the meat grinder to be taking the break thusly. Those prices were crazy. Never seen those in Sweden. The average cost of that is about $400. I got it for $340. Hopefully I can get this guy up and running. So then like maybe I can stream with it tomorrow for tomorrow's scheduled stream. That would be the glorious thing. Although I'm not holding myself to that and may continue to use my current machine just in case, you know. Oh, what the various reasons may have been proven earlier in the stream. That's all sorted. Let's get things plugged in and organized and out of the way, so then I can be ready to plug in the graphics card and not have to worry about fucking where shit goes, right? I think kind of like the organization of the cables and how the power supply and stuff fits will be a majority of the next 2 hours. Ain't it cute? The fan would like to point out that the fan will not spin until a specific core temperature is reached. Probably this way, because then the fan is on this. So let's see how that fits. SFX over here. Make sure I'm installing it according to what this case wants. Installing SFX power supply. There's this little thing here. That fella right there. See the screw chat? So that's where I will install that. I need one that's longer so I can get my hand out of that way. And it wants those three there. How hard is it to slide in there? And I want to keep in mind that it will situate itself like this. 8-pin PCI CPU. I wonder which ones matter. It's always good to make sure the manual doesn't say anything funny. Nah, we're cool. I'm going to populate the ones that are closest to the other ones. Get it like this, yeah. Ooh, how they click in is quite satisfying. They click down nice. Pull this way. Or you know what? I'll just kind of feed it into the machine now. That's where it goes. That is its home. This one needs to come around the back. And guided back in there. Happy with how all of those are. Drop the screw into that. There you go. Added a little twist in there this time. Little twist. Yeah. Yeah, this part's gonna be the fun part. Is getting all the cables fucking organized and shit. Which I may not go too deep here with that. I mean, it does have like this little mesh thing in here that I could probably remove if I wanted to. I may do that because like your exhaust really shouldn't have the filter. I'll protect that. Just like move those cables back in there. Next, I would like to get this piece in. This is the piece that it provides me. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, I totally get that. How long was I muted there? Did I say goodbye to Saul? Chat, we're ready for the GPU. So let me pull this out of the way. Blam. Windforce Max OC 16 gig. I probably should install that case fan, but you know what? Let's get this out. There's the GPU. We will need to see if this can fit in here. If not, there is a built-in sag bracket we can use. This is the original power cable that it came with as an adapter to go from these to this. As you saw earlier, I just have a fancy cable that goes straight to the power supply now, as it's already been used to stream yesterday's stream and Fridays, for example. I have this bracket already installed, which is part of its sag thing. I'm fighting with a SATA cable. Your 3090 takes 3 of those fucking 8 pins. Holy shit. And your new power supply didn't have enough. Had to steal from your old PSU, which thankfully had the same pinout cable. Ooh. Yeah. Don't mix power supplies and cables, chat. That's a bad no-no. You don't know if one brand has the same things as another brand. So this is an anti-sag bracket. Is not going to fit because it would sit in this screw here and go that way. But you see this slot here? This is the case's built-in anti-sag. Damn sluts in the way. Well, this one, because it normally goes into a full ATX board, it would be like this, right? And this goes into one motherboard standoff and this one goes into another. And it usually goes in right here, right? So like it would be like that. But I don't have that part of the motherboard, right? That's my conundrum there. So let's look at the case here really quick. Graphics board installation. Yeah. Oh yeah, let's remove these 2 slots. We have 2 slots. I am very happy with the monster that has served me well over the last 9 years. It's funny because like I did at that time, 2016-ish, I intended to stream with it and then did like a little. I think I was doing like Grand Theft Auto 5 and like Mario Maker. GPU installation, chat. All right, here we go. Hold on. This is a bad case orientation for me to be able to properly see what I'm doing. We're going to go like this, right? I like that. Why is it not like far enough forward? Okay, hold on. Feeling stupid. I'm going to hold all the glory. It's like, I don't know. It definitely feels stupid. So, it's not going enough towards the thing to clear it, but maybe I'm just like dumb. I feel like I'm just dumb. Yeah, I'm just dumb. I got it. Something is like, feels like it's sitting a little proud over here. Okay, we're gonna move these other slots. I just want these out of the way now. This is gonna work. Okay. That went in way better. My lesson there. I'm cool. I'm cool. My lesson there, remove all of these first. For this tiny case, it just needed all of those to be gone. It needed them to be removed first. And then I'm going to secure that into place here. I got a bed, but I'd rather pee in yours. For context in the YouTube, there's a song in the background called Bed. Sounds like what she's saying to me. I think this is the bracket to which I was having issues with. Yeah, so, okay. I'll show you what's going on. These brackets here. When you face them the right way, they're designed in such a way that they overlap with each other. Graphics card says, the fuck you want to do? Graphics card does not like to spoon. Graphics card is not into spooning. What would be fixed by this small thing? This whole ledge here, if it was bent the other way, it would have come in front of the graphics card and held its face rather than trying to reach around behind it. Let's see if the 2016 one. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's in there nice and secure. I'm sticking my finger in there. Maybe just that little bit I could remove. Let's see how the case, let's see how the foot sits in there. I don't have an easy way for you guys to watch this part, chat. It's just, kind of how the cookie's crumbling, you know? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it like this. That way the GPU sagging this way. And then I'm going to set the screws down like that. I don't know if that light helps any more or any less, but that's in there. Let's see if we can get... Oh, no. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I was thinking maybe I should unplug it and then put these underneath, which I can just like kind of... Yeah. Okay, kind of like how that relieves that, and that's right here down. How about that inside of the case, chat? I think that looks pretty clean. I got the sag thing in there in the back. And I want cold air sucking in from here, right? And blowing across all of this stuff. Because that will help passively cool all of this stuff and mix in with any hot air that this is dissipating and being sucked up into here. Because I don't have a good intake down here other than what my GPU is doing. Fuck yeah, Noctua fan. No RGB. And you know what Noctua fans do? They put rotational arrows. It spins this way. and it sucks air going this way. Oh, okay, so this one is saying it sucks air to the bracket. Sucks to the bracket. There we go. Sucking that way. Okay, let's give a weight check. All right, not bad. Not bad. That's a good final once in of the case here. We'll do a flip. It does flips, chat. This is ordered chaos. Nice. So then I can plug it in. I don't really have keyboard and mouse. I could, but like, I think I'm good. Moment of truth, chat. I'm going to hit the power switch on the power supply and see what happens. Okay. Power button. 22C. We're waiting. Let it boot. And my BIOS. Please enter setup to recover BIOS settings. New CPU installed. Please enter setup to configure your system. F1 enter BIOS. Ooh. The glow of the light is from a desk, a light above the CPU. It's not the computer itself. Notice how dark it is in there. I do see diagnostic lights in this corner here. Achievement unlock. Backseat BIOS. Expo. Switch to enable. Oh. There we go. This is a cool BIOS. I like this. Let's see. Easy mode. Advanced mode. There we go. Looks the same too. Yeah, this is more what I'm used to, is this type of look. ERP ready. I think I need something like that turned on, so then that way I can get all of the lights to turn off. Holy shit, 7 hours in? Hey, but we got a boot screen, chat. Save and reset. Should be coming back. There you go. Expo enabled. Cool. Chat. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It has been a tremendous ride. I am very thankful that I could bring you guys along for the ride. For the journey of the ride, I think is the better way of doing it. So yeah. Thank you. There we go. So chat, this will be my new gaming rig. Or my new streaming rig. I'll have to get you guys like a weight. See how heavy it is, you know? Hold on. There you go. That's one last good view of it from the inside. Yeah. Thank you, chat.